FEMA flood maps tell us the likelihood swollen waterways will impact our house and whether we have to buy flood insurance to live there.
So we're right here.
On the map, Haley Fuchsia's Atlanta home in Westover Plantation looks safe from what the government calls a 100-year flood risk. But Fuchsia learned storms don't use a map for directions. Paloma Spalding, who asked not to be identified on camera, also remembers the day Helene hit.
It was just unbelievable to see nature put that much water in one place so fast.
Yet a different kind of map would suggest these residents shouldn't have been surprised. That exact same FEMA event that says you were not at risk?
Fully in it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm right here.
This map is from a company called First Street. It says the flood risk in Fulton, DeKalb, Cobb, and Gwinnett is actually 8 times greater than what FEMA reports. Maps like these have raised a lot of questions in the past year, so we went to Georgia Tech civil and environmental engineering professor Herman Fritz to understand the difference.
It comes down to what kind of events are we trying to simulate.
Fritz says FEMA relies on historical flood data to determine how rivers might swell. But First Street tries to predict the future of things like climate change and growing storm intensity. Remember, Atlanta broke a century-old record with more than 11 inches of rain in 48 hours when Helene hit, according to state of Georgia climatologists. Pair that with a lot of development.
The land is less able to absorb the rainfall, and we are going to see places flood that hadn't flooded before.
That's why First Street says it also maps the risk of flooding from overwhelmed urban drainage systems.
But it was just coming up through the floors.
That is the kind of flooding that impacted these homes at Westover Plantation. We talked with Fritz in front of a model of a New Orleans levee that broke during Hurricane Katrina. He says building and maintaining the right infrastructure is critical.
In Atlanta, and we literally have storm sewer pipes that are more than 150 years old.
While predictive models are filled with uncertainties, and models like First Street require a subscription to see, homeowners here say it would have been helpful if there were a way to give residents a clearer picture of the risk so they knew how to prepare, because this type of flooding can be avoided.
I've heard of these little things that you can put down that can alert you, like your phone, when water hits it. It would have woken us up so that we could actually get up and start trying to get water out.
If you dam up that drainage hole and the area around the powder room toilet, with those stoppers, the water can't even come in.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, truly.
In Atlanta, Rebecca Lindstrom, 11 Alive News investigates.